Welcome back to Empowering the Educator Within. I'm your host, Christina Schaller. Today, we're taking a closer look at something that often gets overlooked in early years classrooms: how we teach foreign languages, and more importantly, whether it's actually working. Think about how those lessons play out at your school. Are they connected to what's happening in the classroom? Or do they feel more like one-off sessions, fun in the moment but quickly forgotten? In many schools I've worked with and worked in, that's exactly what happens. A foreign language teacher comes in, leads a lovely 30 to 45-minute lesson, and then leaves. The songs are great, the vocabulary games are engaging, but once the teacher walks out the door, the language often disappears with them. So here's the real question. Is that the most effective way for our youngest learners to acquire a new language? In my experience, no. But the good news is, there's a better way, one that doesn't require a complete overhaul, just a shift in mindset and a little collaboration. In this episode, we'll look at 4 simple but powerful changes that can help foreign language learning become a more meaningful, lasting part of the early years experience. Let's begin with a simple strategy that's often underestimated: collaboration. For foreign language instruction to truly connect with what students are learning, teachers need to be in the loop. That means giving foreign language teachers access to unit plans, classroom themes, and upcoming projects, ideally by including them in team planning sessions. When everyone is working from the same playbook, it's easier to reinforce core concepts across languages. For example, if the class is about to dive into a unit on transportation, the foreign language teacher can introduce related vocabulary, train, car, plane, in the target language. Suddenly, students are hearing and using the same ideas across different contexts, which strengthens retention and understanding. And even if joint planning isn't always possible, simply sharing planners in advance can be enough to spark meaningful alignment. Of course, even with collaborative planning, most foreign language teachers aren't in the classroom every day. So, how do we keep the learning going between visits? The key is simple: create opportunities for daily exposure. This doesn't mean asking the mainstream teacher to deliver full-on language lessons. It can be as easy as having a few books in the target language available during quiet reading time, or playing a favorite foreign language song during cleanup, or including a counting game in the math center that uses numbers in, let's say, French. These small touches take very little time, but have a big impact. They help normalize the foreign language as part of the classroom environment, not just something that appears once a week and disappears just as quickly. Now let's look at how foreign language instruction fits into play-based or inquiry-based classrooms, because this is often where the disconnect happens. Rather than following a fixed sequence of topics, these classrooms are guided by student curiosity. For a few weeks, it might be ocean animals. Next, it might be castles or space exploration. And that's where foreign language teaching can shine, if it's responsive. Imagine the class is exploring marine life. Instead of introducing a new, unrelated theme, the foreign language teacher leans into that interest. They introduce vocabulary like poisson, dauphin, or tortue through a story or puppet play. Then during exploration time, they interact naturally with students in the ocean-themed play area, naming animals, asking questions, using color and number words the students already know. To extend learning, the teacher might leave French books in the reading nook, place labeled flashcards around dramatic play area, or help students create signage in French for their class project. What makes this work is that language becomes part of what students are already doing. It's not an interruption, it's an extension. And that makes it both powerful and memorable. Of course, meaningful integration isn't just about following student interests. It also means meeting them where they are developmentally. Foreign language teachers also need to know where students are in their overall development. If a child is still learning to count to 10 in their native language, asking them to count to 20 in a foreign language might not be realistic or fair. But if foreign language lessons align with existing curriculum goals, they actually enhance learning. Students get more exposure to key ideas across subjects and languages without the frustration of being asked to do something they're not ready for or haven't learned yet. Foreign language teachers also need to know where students are in their overall development. If a child is still learning to count to 10 in their native language, asking them to count to 20 in a foreign language might not be realistic or fair. But when foreign language lessons are aligned with existing curriculum goals, they do more than teach vocabulary. They reinforce concepts students are already working on in other areas. This kind of overlap provides helpful repetition and strengthens understanding without pushing students beyond what they're ready to grasp or haven't encountered yet. At the end of the day, creating a meaningful foreign language experience in the early years doesn't require magic. It just takes communication, consistency, and a willingness to blur the lines between my class and your class. When mainstream and foreign language teachers work as a team, language learning becomes part of the whole classroom experience, not a separate, forgettable moment. And the payoff? Students start to see connections between languages, between subjects, and between themselves and the wider world. And that's exactly what learning should be about. If today's episode got you thinking about how to better support foreign language learning in your early years program, head over to the education blog at shalabooks.com. You'll find the full article plus other resources to help you plan with purpose. And while you're there, don't forget to check out Empowering the Educator Within, the book and workbook designed to help schools build more cohesive, intentional learning experiences for students and teachers alike. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode, share it with a colleague, leave a review, or let us know your thoughts. We love hearing how you're empowering the educator within.